We're gonna get to listen to Caleb finish an apple.
Let's watch this minute.
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the Autopod Decepticast, your minute-by-minute breakdown of the 1986 animated Transformers movie. Getting a little sexy with the intro. Trying to switch it up a little bit. This is...
Sorry for all you ladies who just came in your pants.
I mean, I know that's not what you came here for,
but
I hope it's what you got
it sets the mood for the love that we feel this minute, right?
Yeah, this is a really sexy minute.
We gotta try and tone down the ourselves because this is a somber episode.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty stoked about it.
This is
pretty awesome.
You can't see the disgusting smile on Caleb's face.
I almost look like Megatron at the end of the last minute.
Callbacks.
This is Aaron speaking.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Caleb.
And we will walk you through this this tender. I don't know if tender is the right word.
I mean, oh boy, it's a fucking bummer.
With
guys.
tenderness, we'll try and walk you through this minute, which would be minute 8 of Transformers.
Minute
the movie.
7 to 8.
Okay, 7 to 8. Maybe that's how we need to do it. 7 to 8. Minute 7 to 8. That's easy.
We nailed it.
7 to 8.
8 episodes in, we figured it out.
Can you say it covers the 7th minute?
Oh.
I mean, it does cover the 7th minute.
Also another way to say that. It's the scene where, all the Autobots die.
Not all of them, but
I know.
All of them in the scene
shuttle.
die.
yeah, they get their butts.
There's
kicked.
not an Autobot in the scene that doesn't
They
die.
all die. And do we? Do we want to list which ones die right off the bat, or do you want to play? You want to do a play-by-play?
We can get to it, but I will say this: when I was watching this scene for the preparation for the podcast, I'm like, oh, this is the Autobots Columbine. So Megatron is Eric Harris and Starscream is Dennis Klebold. That's what I was thinking while I was watching this.
I don't like that.
But
Why?
wait a minute. But a whole army goes into the
Bringing
ship.
up Columbine.
I mean, you don't like me invoking Columbine?
It would be more like if all the students of Columbine High School ganged up together and then killed Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris.
Opposite.
I was really happy with this analogy.
And it would be,
I don't think anybody's happy with this analogy.
Apparently, I'm on my own.
and also it's like they kill them on a spaceship. They don't kill them in a classroom.
I think you may be being a little too literal, but yes, okay, there's where it falls apart. I will give you that.
Okay, so it starts
Megatron
off
smirking.
Yeah, it starts off with the immortal line. Well, you do it. You do your best, Welker.
More than you imagine, Optimus Prime. That's not a very good Megatron.
But in response to them reading or hearing the recording that Laserbeak got of Optimus being optimistic, saying we'll need lots of luck.
Little N.R.G and a lot of luck, yes.
And they are nice.
And in I'm going to bring up the original, one of the early scripts a couple of times, but it occurred to me in watching this because in one of the earlier scripts it says that they are hiding behind an asteroid. Oh, fuck. They're hiding behind an asteroid and waiting for the shuttle to pass, and then the Decepticons swarm on it. And it does occur to me that they do not have a ship, and they just show up out of nowhere. So that must have just been something that ended up on the cutting room floor. They just never animated it.
Decepticons can fly.
Yeah, but again, they're catching a shuttle.
But also in space, I guess can't they all fly if they have packs that can propel them?
Well,
in the right
this
direction?
gets into something. Decepticons could fly. Autobots cannot.
As a general rule, I
was
guess.
always like, what's up with that?
They can only fly with jetpacks. Like, who's it? Sideswipe and what's his brother's name?
Sunstreaker.
Sunstreaker. Yeah, they can fly, but they have jetpacks.
Why can Decepticons fly and Autobots can't fly?
I wish I.
Why can't the Autobots
I
take
should have
on
watched
that technology?
It would be nice to watch the episodes. There are episodes that break down. I don't know if they break down the why, but they do break down that, like, the young Orion Pax pre-Optimus Prime was so like
Down to earth.
starry-eyed about meeting Megatron
Down
for
to
the
earth.
first time because
Oh,
and flight was a part of like the fact that they could fly was
That's a
a
great
part
episode.
of it.
But yeah,
don't know.
there are original episodes of the first couple seasons where even I think it's Starscream. It's one of the Seekers says Autobots can't fly.
Right, yeah. They're just letting you know.
So they're flying around in their ship, and of course the Decepticons can just fly up
To their ship, yeah.
and
even though this is a
literally-
interstellar traveling ship,
Right.
I guess they have an
Yeah.
interstellar.
And they also didn't. It's not like they got a jump on them. That ship had already left.
No, they apparently they can fly super fast. Too.
Right.
So they bust up, then literally tear a hole in the side of the ship and jump on board.
Here's what I think I figured it out, guys. Here, I solved it. The shuttle is capable of long distance flight, but it's slow because they're going to pick up N.R.G. It's a cargo vessel. The Decepticons aren't that far from Cybertron, so they can get there quicker since they're in their small form, but they wouldn't be able to have sustained flight to a long distance location.
Apparently, the ship doesn't have any sort of like
Radar?
or
They're too small.
ability to detect anything going on outside of the ship.
They're too small, but recognizing the fact that they're as big as like a totally detectable thing.
They are literally planes, so
So
they got to get on the ship somehow.
So there's this huge explosion, and I'm sure Ryan, you probably have notes about the science of this and how. Like, why is all
Why
that
is it
debris
not
not just
sucked
getting
out?
sucked right out? In fact, why isn't everybody just getting sucked right out
I think it's
of this
because
shuttle?
there's no the Transformers don't need oxygen, because if you notice on Cybertron, Spike is in a suit, implying that he can't breathe without
Okay.
that suit.
All right.
So I think it's just the vacuum inside. Granted, we're hearing sounds.
See?
You're saying there is no oxygen.
The vacuum
There's no
doesn't happen
atmosphere.
because there's no pressure differential.
Correct. That's what I think. Even though we're hearing sounds, but you got to hear sounds. It's a movie. I mean,
Yeah.
But then why wouldn't? But there, and I guess you could argue that there's some sort of fake gravity going on. But
yeah.
What I like is how they blow a big hole in the ship,
and then rip through
and
it.
then Megatron decides to find another part to rip through.
I know, yeah.
Well, there's
And
also
what is that? Is that like ventilation? Which we'd already discussed. There's not really a need for ventilation.
Yeah, and maybe it could be dust, but there shouldn't be smoke because you can't have an explosion, a combustion explosion without
They just
oxygen.
Bust right in.
So it is real home invasion shit.
Yeah.
By the way, that a couple things. And it starts really with that part of Megatron saying more than you imagine Optimus Prime is where I sort of thought this, that they just nailed the character designs by this time, especially Megatron just looked so good. Like he just looked perfectly drawn at that point in time. Like his proportions, like there's parts in the series where his face is kind of long. He's got one of these foot face things happening.
Yeah.
But they've kind of figured out like a squared jaw look for his head and helmet and all that. And it just like they finally kind of at this point where had nailed the designs, I think, really well. Okay, so now they're on the ship.
And who exactly are we looking at? We got Starscream, we got Megatron, we got the Constructicons.
There's also some of the Conehead Seekers. All the Conehead Seekers are there with them.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, that's the you
That's
didn't
a
know that?
terrible name.
That is community vernacular.
They bust on. And who's on the ship here that's going to try to...
The Autobots?
Yeah.
Brawn, Ratchet, Ironhide, Prowl, right?
That's correct.
Some of our old classic G1.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care about Brawn, but I like the other characters a lot.
Yeah.
And then I get to watch them slaughtered.
I'm about to buy a third-party version of Brawn. It looks pretty awesome.
I get it. You're better than me.
I'm just saying he's a good. I like Brawn. but
I never really cared
as a
for him as a
character.
character.
He's a tough guy.
He seems like a dick.
Okay. Fuck that guy.
Well, he's getting ready to die.
So, but he's the first one to run at him.
Yep.
Go
I
ahead.
just thought of this, but I did remember Brawn actually does pull Prime's trailer in one episode.
That's Huffer.
Oh,
That's
damn
Humper,
it.
dude.
Fuck.
My first Transformer that I have... No, I owned Soundwave and then bought Huffer.
Huffer was
And then you
also-
lost him.
And then I lost Huffer in the yard for a few years and found him again.
Do you still have that?
It's
Yeah,
down
it's
here.
Right over here. Right over here. It's right over here on the shelf.
Awesome.
I have Caleb's. All of Caleb's Transformers are technically in my collection
I
now.
don't have...
I took some pictures today. We can
Better
put it on
here
the
than
Facebook.
tomorrow.
or the Instagram.
So Megatron's mouth is really big.
Yeah, his face in this scene is weird when he's saying "Die,
Autobot.
Yeah, he turns into the
Nailed
gun,
it.
and then the awesome kick-ass music starts, which
Yeah.
really makes for I mean it. Yes, and you know what? As much as he hates Starscream, he lets Starscream pull his trigger.
Which
You know what I'm
sounds
saying?
filthy.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Very frequently, Starscream is the
Trigger man.
Man with Megatron, which is pretty weird because he doesn't trust Starscream.
He trusts him enough to let him pull the trigger on his.
Which we all agree is his dick.
Well, I mean, think about it. I mean, if you're
Like literally in the first generation toy, it's his dick.
oh yeah, that's right. So there's something going on there.
I guarantee there's slash fiction for Starscream and Megatron.
Oh, why not?
I think I really like, and again, I'm on record as not really being a hard rock or heavy metal guy, but I really like the music in this scene, which is done by the band's called N.R.G, and this is, as far as I can tell, their only claim to fame. But I did, in researching, find that there's a Vince DiCola original score for this scene that is an alternative music, which I watched, and I'll just show you guys. If you guys at home, if you just search on YouTube Transformers, the movie Shuttle Attack, Vince DiCola, it'll come up. It's like
Let's load it up on our website too for people.
okay, I'll put a link on that.
This is what?
That's
the song.
This is the ad.
It's a club mix.
It's like, do da do da do.
That sounds DiCola-esque.
Oh, it even has the.
I think they use this exact same
Yeah, they
music
do use
later
this
in the
music
movie.
later.
Maybe it was just placement music till they got the.
Yeah, it's still pretty intense. It works. Like you said,
Controversially, I think it does not work.
you like? I mean, I like what they went with better.
Anyway,
The rock band, the N.R.G.
I will say this, and you are in the majority of, and I don't understand this, but like all of the comments are like, "Oh, the Vince DiCola score is so much better," and I don't agree at all. Like I think the hard rock version is like it makes the thing feel more suspenseful, more energetic, like,
Sinister, even.
Yeah.
I
There's
agree
an
with you
energy
there.
to it that's much more
what?
hostile energy. What?
I'm assuming that NRG is supposed to stand for energy. I don't know that for a fact.
yeah, N.R.G.
I looked them up.
come
I
on.
couldn't find any acronym or any sense of what that's an acronym
They appear
for.
to be like really. I don't. There's. It seems like they might be made up because I can't find anything about this band.
Well, I learned that they've opened up for such bands as the Goo Goo Dolls, Extreme, Joan Jett, UFO, Blue Oyster Cult, Judas Priest. But yeah, to your point,
That's a big span, actually.
it is true. But to your point, I think this is their claim to fame: is that they were on this soundtrack. This
Yeah.
is it.
Yeah.
So they're the music that the Decepticons listen to while they're busting.
They were getting amped
And this
before they took over the shuttle.
Yeah.
This song is called "Instruments of Destruction." That is their song. That I think it works a lot better than the DiCola score.
I
like it.
could take it or leave it. I think that it fits it fits the scene perfectly, just because of the menace behind
Yeah.
it. But I don't love the song on its own merit. I only love it in the context of this movie. So okay, Braun, pretty nasty shot right there. He's like still sparking and robo bleeding through his back there. I like how Starscream then kind of takes aim and he's sort of like, who's next? What's the next shot to take here?
They really are bad at taking cover. The Autobots, like, get behind that chair, buddy.
Right, yeah. I mean, Prowl's shot, and they're not great shots either.
Also, though, we paused it right here at 7 minutes 37 seconds. What is his name? I can't remember.
That is
Conehead?
that's one of the Coneheads. That's not Ramjet. I
no.
think it is Dirge.
It might be Dirge. He looks. What is he doing?
He's like outside of the ship.
He's just like looks like he's planking
Yeah.
out in outer space.
He's just floating there.
Yeah. So Prowl gets off one shot,
Right.
and then the Constructicons cut him to pieces. Pretty gruesome death, smoke pouring out of his mouth.
So yeah, let's see here. So that is, if I'm not mistaken, I think I took this in my notes. That's Scavenger that takes that shot, and just one shot.
He gets hit a couple times, but
It was like one shot for me on that one, but and
Maybe
it goes
so.
through the front, out the back,
I remember even as a kid being like, they died really easily
and after all the shots they would take
in the cartoon. Yeah.
on the show. So this one to me is probably the most gruesome death of just a standard character
the
in
mouth
the movie.
and the
The
mouth.
eyes,
Well,
yeah.
and also the mouth, the eyes, his face just like is like goes from like just turns into anguish and
Yeah. I guess that they're setting a precedent here with the way he dies. Where like they're saying, okay, viewers, this is real. This is like
hunker down because
yeah, you're in for some. You're into seeing some death.
Soundwave's here too. I saw.
Soundwave was there.
Yeah, he was in the background, I think.
So we say hunker down, but it never really gets worse than this scene. I mean,
I don't
Optimus
know.
Prime dies, but
I feel like the way that Ratchet and Ironhide die, Ironhide in particular in our next episode, is pretty bad.
sure.
It's not gruesome, I guess. It just emotionally, it's rough.
So Ratchet and Ironhide, speaking of, they get out of their chairs and take some or not well placed shots. And the guys are dodging. So I was thinking of this earlier, like who kills who. So my guess is that Starscream being on technically that side of the ship, these Constructicons being on this side of the ship, that I'm guessing Starscream pins down Ironhide and the Constructicons pin down Ratchet here. But then you see that, but then you see Starscream and Megatron finishing the job.
Yeah.
It's like back and to the left, back and to the left.
They're gonna jump
Watching
all
this
over
is
your
hard
head,
for me
Jimbo.
still.
It's rough. It's real rough. Like, yeah, I mean, ugh.
And then Megatron transforms out of Starscream's hands, and that is really the end of that.
Now,
minute.
So what have we learned here? That Transformers can die
Right.
and more.
I mean, I
are
think we
going
always
to die.
knew that. We just never saw it.
Yeah, but then watching this for the first time, like you saw that and you're like, oh shit, like this is new territory.
So, and then, like, this movie...
brutal.
Almost none of the Decepticons die permanently in this movie. But it's a fucking Autobot snuff film. They never come back. I mean, except for Prime comes back later, but...
Hey.
Did they, so can we? So, in essence, is Hasbro saying we need to get rid of a bunch of Autobots and introduce a bunch of new Autobots, and we're not really cared about reintroducing that many new Decepticons?
Well, they
or
do
what?
introduce new Decepticons because they don't die permanently. The reason is they're transformed by Unicron.
Right.
But let me think about that a second. I mean, they introduce a slew of new Autobots,
Yeah.
right? I mean, Ultra Magnus, Blur, Springer, Hot Rod, Rodimus Prime, Cup, Wheelie, Junkions,
RC.
RC.
It had to be a conscious decision to say we don't want to kill Megatron. We want to turn him into a new incarnation of himself.
I mean, I guess
Isn't that weird?
from a product development standpoint, it doesn't really matter. Either
No.
way, you're going to come out with a new product to replace the old one.
Yeah.
But there's only three new bad guys introduced in this movie, unless I'm missing something. That would be Megatron,
Cyclonus. And Scourge.
and Scourge.
But they were all made.
And
from
then like the
existing
Insecticons turn into
Right.
sweeps and stuff.
So
right. But I'm just
That's
I'm
true.
You think
surprised they
it's-
didn't make more bad guys.
maybe it's a continuity. Maybe it's like evil is evil, and we in a way that's like evil's the same. Equal continuity of that, but there's new people that are good guys. We pass on the mantle of responsibility to keep that evil under control.
That's exactly what they were thinking.
Ron Friedman, Flint,
Pretty deep. I think they were thinking we're gonna sell some fucking toys.
Ron Friedman, Flint Dilly, and Nelson Shin. When you guys come on to the
I would like to
podcast,
know
we'll
more
talk
about
about it. We are going to talk about what is the metaphors that
why
were driving
treat
the
the
story of
Decepticons
this
differently
movie.
than the Autobots.
Speaking of Ron Friedman, this was I think it was one of his really early scripts. If you can believe it, the deaths of the Autobots in the original script are much more brutal in this scene. Prowl is literally melted into scrap by Scavenger. And then Ironhide and Ratchet in that scene get shot so much they, quote, are fused together, then blasted apart and fall in smoking, glowing fragments, unquote.
They fused together?
That's horrible.
So I read that same tidbit and I read a little bit further, but there still is the scene where where Ironhide reaches up and says no, which doesn't make sense in the context of that death, but anyway, yeah. Also, another script deviation at least on the version of we need to get in sync on the versions of the script we're looking at, but there's no scene where Laserbeak reports back. Like, he doesn't show back up and report back. He just, in the early script, you see him fly away from the Autobot moon base, and then it dissolves to this scene, essentially.
That's not...
Implying that...
Like,
he's going to go tell them, and they're going to do something about it.
That meeting takes place off camera. I think that adding that scene, though, really works a lot better because you get reintroduced to the characters, and like you said, you get an automatic understanding of how the dynamic of these people work.
And I know that some things have never changed. Like, Megatron instantly is just like shitting on Starscream from the beginning.
Yeah.
You just wanted to bring that back up. You just don't feel like we covered it well enough. All right, everybody, this is a TF podcast rewind. All right, hey everybody, this is episode 7. Talking about minutes 6 to 7. We got Laserbeak flying back to Decepticon headquarters. Oh, the first thing that Megatron says is gives a dig at Starscream. It's like some of my other warriors.
You never fail me.
Oh man, Caleb, do you
have some? You want to talk about that?
I don't know why I do this.
All right, and that was the official Transformers Autopod Decepticast rewind.
Oh, that's annoying for some people. Some people hated that. All right.
At least 1/3 of us hated that. I'm really sorry, Caleb. But to your point. You're right, though. I mean, I think you had to reestablish this Autobot Decepticon dynamic before you could jump straight into these robots coming on board the ship and slaughtering everybody.
Yeah, that's a real, that can't be the first time you see it. Because then they're just, they're non-characters.
Screw you guys.
The look on your face is so angry right now.
We waited an hour and a half for Aaron to show up, and Caleb, this is what you get. Are you coming back next week?
Yes, I'm coming.
Caleb.
No, I won't. I'll be out of town.
Oh, that's right.
Caleb,
bank some of these.
when you first saw this scene as a kid, do you remember any emotions, any feelings?
Because at that point in time, I was still dwelling on how Megatron was insulting Starscream from the minute earlier.
Couldn't get past it.
Couldn't get past it.
I just shut the movie off after that.
At that point.
Like, come on, guys. It's been, it's the year 2005. It's been 20 fucking years. Kiss and make up already.
You can't get past this?
Yeah.
Fuck this movie.
I mean, how would you feel if your boss insulted you and then turned into a gun and let you shoot him with your hand? It'd be kind of confusing.
That's some real mixed messages.
Yeah, it's really confusing. I was just like overwhelmed by the fact that it was just new territory. They crossed a line in this scene that they had never crossed before, and that is death.
Yeah, shit got real. I mean,
and graphic.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're robots. Yeah. There's no blood or organs.
No, but there's suffering. You can see the suffering.
Yeah. I feel like it made me sick. I feel like I remember
the lights
feeling sick
in
when
his
I watched
eyes.
it. Yeah.
The lights came, smoke came out of his mouth.
Yeah. I remember as a kid.
Okay.
Dead.
I feel like there's some retribution going on here. Was he still alive?
One of them was.
In here.
In your heart?
In my
Caleb's
heart.
pointing to his heart. I think I remember. My memory from childhood is so hazy. I know that I must have had an emotional reaction to this because I anthropomorphized everything. So even like the toys that I had, I would put personalities on them and like talk to them and shit. And so I must have This must have upset me, but I don't remember it specifically. So maybe that's a recovered memory I can get later.
All right, after therapy, we're going to have another Autopod Decepticast.
My uncle touched me.
And that was an Autopod Decepticast
We were way back.
So, all right, well, you guys have, what else do you guys have on this one?
Nothing.
Not much. The only this is just a side note I wrote after the shuttle thing. Like, I hate the description of their forms in the first script. It says humanoid mode and automotive. Why not just robot and vehicle?
That's Ron Friedman's early draft, I guess.
I have a lot to say about Ron later. The next scene, I'm like, Ron.
Well, wait until after we get him on the show.
It's not bad.
I bet
it's
you
just
he'll show up.
It's just
He's
strange.
not going to listen to this shit before he comes on the show.
I don't know. He strikes me as the type of guy that might have a Google alert.
Yeah.
Oh, he 100% has a Google. I have a Google alert for my own name. Some white guy, Ryan Jett, who murdered someone in Florida, and it comes up all the time.
There's a Caleb Carter that was a male porn star that committed suicide.
That's
Whoa.
oh. Well, that's unfortunate.
So let's.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. We're still trying to figure out our social media situation.
Regardless, you can get to it through our website.
Regardless, you can get to it through our website, which is...
Hi, this is the ghost of Casey Kasem, once again breaking into the broadcast to say that since the recording of this episode, the boys have gotten their collective shit together regarding their social media. They are at APOD Decepticast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. For the record, I do not endorse this ridiculous show, and I'm being compelled to record these interstitials by way of a disgusting voodoo ritual. Fuck these guys and their website, AutopodDecepticast.com. Please like, comment, follow, and subscribe. And now here's a very special request coming in this week from Trapped Spirit Forced into Servitude. His request, which I think we can all get behind, is that all three hosts contract blood poisoning and die slowly. Signing off for now, I return you to your regularly scheduled garbage.
AutopodDecepticast.com.
This has been a distressing episode. We watched
All
Autobot
around.
Death and dead porn stars.
Well, I'm going to associate the two, and every time I see a robot die, I'm going to get fucking hard.
Let's end this episode.
All right,
Caleb
everybody.
is lying on the floor.
The trauma, plus the trauma at us with our...
We were a little rough.
I'm sorry, man.
It's okay.
You're going to write the descriptors to the episodes there, buddy?
I hope you have fun in DC.
Yeah.
We're not going to record without you.
You could Skype in.
Could.
Or
wanna
blue
Skype in?
jeans in.
You want blue jeans
Why
in,
is it
buddy?
called blue jeans?
I don't know. It's the name of it. It's not good. It's always fucked up.
It's really it's misleading.
This is what your company uses?
Yep.
Oh, okay,
It's
blue
like,
jeans.
let's name our
Can you
video-
get on mic, please?
No.
This is gonna fucking piss me off when I have to edit this.
No, I want to stay back away from
All
the
right.
All right, everybody. This has been your episode 8. So please visit our website, like our comment, interact with us. Visit us via our social media networks, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and thank you for your time, and check us out next week.
Signing off.
Bye.